Okay, welcome guys, welcome. I think that we are live. I'm hoping we are. I should just double check that because normally I hide the screen, but I've actually run out of time. There we are live. Great. Okay, I'll just go back to Steam or something. Okay, so we'll I'll just minimize that. Right, well, welcome to episode 36 of ChatTactic for 2024. So we're sort of heading towards the end of the year now. A lot of things actually happening in the coming up for this week, actually, which is why I've had to sort of push this forward a day. And next week, it'll either be forward a day or back a day as well. I've got different commitments that are coming up at the same time, which I'll talk about as well as we sort of go through. They're all gaming commitments. Hi, William and CB and Voodoo Dog. So there we go. Seem live to me there. There we go. Thank you. I actually had them. Like you can see on the screen, I've got these different recordings. I've got OBS Studio, I've got OBS Slitherine, I've got OBS Game Chat, and then OBS Game Recording. And I was just doing a little announcement, which I'll talk about here as well. But I was recording with this one, and I thought I had the one because it's all the same OBS sort of things, but they're different versions of it, and they've just got different settings, so I can just get in and start recording or start broadcasting pretty quickly. And so the game chat is the one that I thought I had open, but I didn't. I had the game recording rather than the game chat, so I just had to quickly. That's why I was a bit slightly late because I just realised, I've got the wrong thing actually open there. C. Sanders in saying, I don't usually catch these live due to my work schedule. A well-timed lunch break. There we are. And Crunch is saying, nice surprise, I have time to watch live. That's cool. Yeah, sort of some people prefer the Sundays and some people prefer the Mondays, but I'm sort of, Mondays for me still sort of works better because I really am going to be tight, like in terms of I have to keep it to 2 hours, no longer than 2 hours, just because I go to the beach today. So, so today is a beach day for me, and whereas tomorrow, on the Monday for most of you guys, is not a beach day. So it's sort of I've got a little bit more leeway. I mean, it sort of is, but it's not one that I commit to. Hi Tom, how you going? And Hugh David. So anyway, I thought what we'll do is we do have a giveaway today, and it's a fairly exciting one actually, which is what we've got Battle Sector, the Warhammer 40,000 Battle Sector that we can then give away. And where is it in my little list of things? There it is there. So I might even fire that up just to sort of show what that has got in it. And I'll explain I'll explain why afterwards. Let's just have a look at this one. So starting the game. Battle Sector. There's different additions that do come into it. I'll just fire it up. It's quite a nice little game actually. It's not a little game actually. It's quite a big game. So it's a good giveaway, and that's actually that's for this week. And I might as well let you know it's also going to be for next week as well. I've got 2 keys to give away. So one for this week, one for next week, which would be great. So if you miss out today, and I'm guessing that next week will also possibly be at this time, or like later in the week. I'm not exactly sure which way we'll go with that one through there. But the reason for this particular key for Battle Sector is because there is DLC coming this week. It's coming in 2 days' time. And so there's that aspect, but it's also the Slitherine Next Festival, which is the where they go through and actually have all the different announcements, is also coming up in 2 days' time. Exactly 2 days from at the time of going live today. So now I was going to be covering that, but I'm not. I'll explain why when we get in there. So I wanted to rather than doing the giveaway or anything like that at that time, because they've always got like lots of really interesting announcements that actually happen with that time with that particular festival. But I have another commitment, so I'll talk about that other commitment as well in a minute when we get to it. So Battle Sector is a game that has got like different campaigns, but also an open campaign. And you can see there's all sorts of different factions. Now, if you only get the base game, you only get the Space Marines and the Tyranids to actually sort of then actually have in the game itself. And I don't think there is actually a Tyranid campaign. I know people have actually asked for it in the past, but I think if I go to new campaign, Age of Crimson Dawn, this one here is where we then go and start to play as the Space Marines versus the Tyranids. This is the one that does come with the just with the base game. So So you've got allow playable DLC units. I hadn't seen that before, actually. I don't usually play these, to be honest, these pre-built campaigns, but they are good. Like the small amount that I have played of them, I have enjoyed them. It's a very tactical game. If we go to new campaign, demonic incursion. In this case, you play as the. This one is where you actually have. Actually, this is interesting. I haven't seen this one before. So you actually got different factions in through here. So just going through the different factions that are in the actual game itself. So you can actually play as a Tyranids. All right, that's interesting. I haven't seen this one. Is a desperate battle for survival, fighting against increasingly powerful waves of cornet demons as they rush forward. Okay, I have seen this one actually. Yeah, so this is actually when the demons came into the corn demons were a faction that was brought in with a DLC, and this particular way of playing the game also came in at that time. So this is not part of the base game, but you can see there the different factions. Blood Angels is your Space Marines. Tyranids you can play in this mode. So the Tyranids are just Tyranids, they're the reptilians. Then you've got different DLCs. You've got the Necron DLC, the Adeptus Sororitas DLC, which is very similar to Blood Angels, but is like a female version. Orcs back and through here as well, and then the Tau as well. So they're the four that have actually come into the actual game itself. What's going to be announced like essentially in 2 days' time, is going to be the next DLC, which is going to be Astra Militarum. So we're going to have the Astra Militarum, the Empire, essentially sort of itself now will actually be another DLC for the actual game, which is going to be great. So I'm looking forward to that one. I'm looking forward to it in this game probably more so than Gladius. Gladius is another one of these games, also by Slitherine as well, that I enjoy that one a great deal. But the Astra Militarum I find fairly difficult in that one. But I think in this particular game, the extra range of the Astra Militarum will actually put them in good stead. This is a game where you've got to try to hit things at range if you can. So I think that the superior range of the Astra Militarum, I think, will actually then sort of make that a fairly fun faction to play with the DLC. Anyway, that's what's coming. That's just the demonic incursion. I'll just go back again. What else is there? If we go to new campaigns, we've got planetary supremacy. This is the one that I prefer to play. It's interesting, actually. I thought maybe there was be more campaigns, unless I've screwed something up in through here. I don't think I have. If I go to planetary supremacy, this is the mode I like to play, where you end up with, and I hope that they really flesh this out at some point in the future, where you actually do get to sort of choose again just out of the different factions that are in there. You also now have the Chaos Demons as well, gets added into the mix. So you can play as all of these if you've got the DLCs. Otherwise, you can actually play as a Tyranids in this as well. And so in this case, you then have like the campaign options, who you are and who you're going up against. It will, like if I choose the Blood Angels from here, I won't be able to choose Blood Angels or Adeptus Sororitas from here. So if I go into that one, you see that they get grayed out because they don't fight each other. So it sort of keeps things fairly thematic with what goes on there. I'm not sure what would happen with Astra Militarum, if that would also then not be a playable, like where you'd actually be able to then fight against them. But I do like this particular mode of the game. So anyway, there's a lot of content, even just in the base game. It is a fairly engaging game all the way through Battle Sector, and improving all the time, which is really quite cool. So it does have like a sort of like an army management mode as well, like in terms of like the skirmish mode. Skirmish is essentially where you just go in against with a point system, and you build up your armies with different points. You've got like an army management area. Begin the skirmish, for example. If I just go back into this other side, we then get to set up how the game would then be sort of then go and played with the different types of groups, what the point system would be for the army sizes, etc., etc. And so planetary supremacy is essentially this, but in a campaign mode. So there's a lot to like about this game actually, and it's improved a lot over the years. I was a bit scathing of the initial planetary supremacy mode because that was what I was most interested in, but it has improved a hell of a lot. Anyway, that's Battle Sector. That's the giveaway for today. A really great game actually, so that's going to be a good one. It rates pretty well, I think. Let's have a look and see it in Steam. Battle sector, there it is. Yeah, very positive, which is good. I think this is all announcement stuff. I'll just put that one back to there. So very positive, 93% in recent times. That's unheard of with these sort of games, and then 89%. So I was actually more scathing than that. From when it first released, I was not an 89%er. I was probably a 70%. But my estimation of the game has increased a lot. Actually, I'm surprised to see such high numbers, to be honest, in terms of I should be playing more of this game if it rates that highly. That's really quite cool, actually. So anyway, that's the game I've got to give away today, which is a great game. So a special thank you to Slitherine for providing that. But and really, because I won't be able to cover the next fest until probably next week, actually. So next, I'll explain what's coming that I know of in this current next fest in 2 days' time. But with what they actually do have, you can see there if we just go to Welcome to Slitherine. So 1 day, 23 hours. 47 minutes and 57 seconds at this point in time before next fest does come. It's hard to find actual news about it, to be honest, which I thought that there would be a full page about what's going to be coming. I may have just received sort of inside information about it, but I thought that some of it was common knowledge. I'll go through the bits that I do know about that is coming for it. Hi Bubo, how you going? And and Michael, and Viren Games, hope you're all doing well. I think I've got everyone. All right. So with the announcement they're going to have, there's something I'm not allowed to talk about, but sounds very exciting. God, what clues can I give without actually going against what I've been told not to talk about? Let's just say that there's a very exciting genre of game which is going to be coming to be a brand new game that Slitherine will be developing in a genre that I really enjoy playing, that is not typically a Slitherine genre. They have done some games in that genre. I'm not going to say yes or no if you start guessing, but you can guess away if you like. So I'm really bad at keeping things under my without letting things go. But that's probably one of the most anticipated things that I'm looking forward to from the announcement. So I will be watching that as soon as I possibly can. As I said before, I do have another commitment which I'll talk about as well. So that's actually coming. That will be the. So that there's that announcement. I'm not sure what it's not a very long presentation, I don't believe. So I don't think it takes all that long to do it. So anyway, the next it's got that one. It's got more content coming for, as we said before, Astra Militarum for Battle Sector. It also has like another pack coming for Gladius as well. So Gladius has got like a different Space Marines faction coming as well. So there's going to be more content there. I think it's Starship Troopers is also getting a completely different way of playing the game. That's on special at the moment, by the way, which is pretty good. So we've got the and by the way, they've called it the winter sale for a lot of their their specials, which goes through until next year, which is pretty cool, rather than just having that spring sale the autumn sale from Steam. So yeah, it is actually the winter sale is what they've got currently going on. So they're the four things that I know about, plus also the combat mode, and my mind's gone completely blank. Just see where I've got it. I've got it on here somewhere under Modern Forces. There's a lot of things I'm hoping to hear about. There's a few other things we found out while I was looking at at the Slitherine page the other day. Actually, there was. There's Ancient Arenas is coming by the looks of things. That's back on the back in development, which I'm really looking forward to. I'm not sure when that's going to be due to release, and I'm trying to see where I've got the Broken Arrow. There it is. Broken Arrow is, I think, there's also now going to be a commitment to a time frame, or like they're going to be telling you when the release date of Broken Arrow will be, and there's been a lot of interest in Broken Arrow, so that one's come up. I've had trouble playing it on my computer, so I haven't really played much of it. I haven't tried it for the last couple of play tests, but it keeps on sort of updating, but I just haven't actually had a look at it for a little while. But that does look fairly impressive as well. So there's going to be a lot of information coming in the Next Fest. So Adrian is saying, what do you think of Solium Infernum? I think it's a great game. I'll talk about that in just a minute. Cian Sanders saying, I have a hard time playing Distant Worlds 2 without all of the base game factions being updated. A lot of my favourites aren't done yet. Okay, that's which favourites, actually? I'm interested in knowing what people look for. I've got a few that I really don't care if they develop them or not, and I've got some that I really want them to develop from the original Distant Worlds 1. And Patricia is in saying, hey, Dad's good to see you. And likewise, thank you. Well, not that I can see you guys. I can see little icons. That's what I can see on my chat. Okay, so Adrian, what do I think of Solium Infernum? I think it's a great game. It's the thing with Solium Infernum, if we just go and have a look at this one, is Solium Infernum. There it is there. So you can see there, it's very positive, like 95%, 87%. So it's done it's a very, very good game to play, and it really does play very, very well. It's a game with so many different sort of parameters and ways of actually playing the game. There's so many different paths to victory when you play the game. It's very, very interesting. It says here, take the Infernal Throne in this hellish turn-based grand strategy game. The Prince of Darkness has vanished, leaving archfiends to conspire, muster your legions while intoning dark sorceries, devilish schemes, and Machiavellian plots. He'll be it really is full of subterfuge, and it's very interesting game to play. Very, very interesting. So it's sort of one of these things where I was so looking forward to this game coming out. I haven't played much of it in recent times, but the thing with this particular game is that it's the League of Geeks has sort of stopped. The studio has stopped functioning, and so I'm not sure if they will come back to it. I'm sort of half assuming at some point they will, because you can't have a game that really is quite a success like this and then really just collapse as a studio. It doesn't make sense. So I'm thinking in one sense, one way or another, League of Geeks will then come back into being, I hope. They're not dead, they're just not functioning. So they're sort of on life support, if you know what I mean. So yeah, which is a shame really, because there is, I think they're still doing different bits and pieces. The updates, latest one was back in June, which is when the studio essentially sort of did collapse, which was sad news actually. But it's because it's such a good game, and so I am hopeful that they will fix themselves up. And if we go and look at the community hub, maybe is often a good place to sort of get a bit of a feel if people are scathing. Please, yeah. So people asking for just more of it. So people are. See if there's anything else in through here. Archfiends, yeah. People are wanting the original Archfiends from the original game to be brought back in and sort of developed. You're not seeing much about the actual company, which is sort of unusual. Like if you have a look at this one here, where the game it's a great game, and then you've got the the actual with what's going on through there. But you can see that through here, there's people it's still relatively active. The actual pinned thing is old. I mean, that was just old information. It was sort of hard to get information about what actually happened with the actual collapse. So but I think it's still the game itself is done, and I mean, I just hope for more content basically. But the game itself is really quite well done. It's very, very polished. So I would highly recommend it. It will feature definitely in my best games of this year, even despite the company collapsing. If you compare that as an example to Kerbal Space Program, where the company essentially collapsed at around about the same time, and so which is interesting. So Kerbal Space Program 2. the interesting thing, yeah, look at this. This is the difference. 34% mostly negative, and then 13%. This is because of the way that the game was developed and then abandoned. So the like when you compare this game, which I was so looking forward to as well, and then you go back and look at Solium Infernum. It's interesting to see the difference in the way that the community has received the news of essentially the same sort of news with the studio. Sort of not like in Solium Infernum, I still have hope that they're going to come back and develop it. A bit like what's that fantasy game that I like playing? There's Solium Infernum right there. I've got another one that I enjoy playing. Deity Empires. So Deity Empires is another one where the studios stopped work on it. That was really just a couple of developers that were working on that game, and I think it just got overwhelming for them. And I'm hopeful that they will also come back at some point. But yeah, old Kerbal Space Program 2 really, really screwed up. They just really did such a bad job of their launch, everything. It was just terrible, actually. So, but Solium Infernum I would highly recommend, really highly recommend. But just keep in mind that the studio developing it is in hiatus at the moment. But I am hopeful that they will come back and start working on it again at some point, maybe with a different iteration of the studio. I'm not sure what the problems were with the studio. I'm assuming it's some sort of financial problem, but I'm not sure why. Okay, so CNC is saying I have a hard time with Distant Worlds. We spoke about that one through there. But CNC is saying I really like Harkonish. I'd play Xenox 2 after an update. What about the? Do you mean like the fleshed out base, like the ones that we currently have? I thought you meant like the Securans and stuff like that. That's the one that I'm actually. I really like the Securans back in the original game. So I'm sort of hoping that they will come at some point. Anyway, that's. I'll just turn that one off. I'll just go back to my my main screen. Actually, I'll leave it back there. So anyway, that's interesting. Tenor is saying, "Hey Daz, I just found out that ICBM got a sequel on the 21st of November. It's called ICBM Escalation. It was made by the same dev. Check it out." I was offered that one to have a look at, and I didn't bother taking it up, to be honest. And it's one of those things I'm been thinking about it because that one as well, ICBM, is actually one that I don't like those games, and I just don't like them. And let's have a look and see. ICBM Escalation. I think people are really liking it. Like, it's very positive, 88%. So people are really, really enjoying this one. It's sort of like one where you've got like these, it essentially just, it's a full-on combat. Maybe I should try this one. I do have the key for it. I don't know what it is. I just don't like the nuclear war games. Like, it's Grand RTS where you command armies. It's sort of funny because I think there's even there was like on the Slitherine sort of like in the streamers sort of chat that we have in the workshop. They were saying there's some quite funny things that were sort of being built for the game just from the mods. Like there's a fair few different sort of mods coming through as well. The Sandbox of Doom, for example. Runs your factions research, so there's different. So people are actually developing it really. Like there's it's been very, very positively received by the community, but I haven't looked at it. I haven't even looked at it. This is the first time I've actually opened up anything at all to do with it, just because the whole aspect of it just hasn't really ever interested me. But maybe I really should have a look at that. It's it's something I probably should look at. I quite like the look of this, to be honest. If I'm just to be fair. Yeah, it's sort of it's interesting. I'm not sure though. So Adrian's in saying a depressing game. Yeah, I find it depressing to play these games, to be honest. I don't know if that's what it is that stops me from playing them. Yeah, I just don't enjoy them. Sorry, that's just me. Just going back to where we actually got up to, it was just saying hello Daz in chat, and Tenra is saying it looks visually more appealing. It does look visually more appealing than the previous game's ICBM. And Lewis is in saying, have you played the 1.0 version of Caves of Cud? I haven't actually. I haven't played Caves of Cud for years. I do have it, but I just haven't played it. I'm just saying, anyone playing Path of Exile 2, the beta seems to be what everyone is talking about this weekend. I don't know anything at all about that one. CNC, I'm playing Caves of Cud right now, really new to it, but enjoying it a lot. Yeah, the thing again that with Caves of Cud that I didn't really get into was the overworld not being random for a game that is sort of like not very graphic. I just thought, that's it should have a random map. I know it's got random elements to the map, but it's for me it just turned me off a little bit from Caves of Cud. CNC and saying waiting for free to play Path of Exile 2. There we go. So Crunch is saying me too. I gave into the temptation. Muzzle Paint saying hi back. But just saying Path of Exile 2 is a very good game. Yeah, I don't know anything at all about it, to be honest. I just haven't even looked at it. Path of Exile 2. Free to play action RPG. Yeah, it looks like it's like unless it's got random content, I tend not to play it. I mean, this is rating 82%. Yeah, I don't know. It's not the sort of game that I tend to play. I tend to just play, and I don't know anything at all about it, to be honest. So I shouldn't really speak much about it. Sorry, I've got the hiccups. Hi Kat, how you going? Yes, Sean is in saying still waiting for more on Shadow Empire. There is actually, and it's old now, but there is actually a roadmap for Shadow Empire, and so I'm actually waiting for the next sort of content before I start to do any more content on that particular one. Tenra is saying alternative Diablo. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's I'm surprised I put that scene there with everyone being hung, like out on Steam. They're usually sort of a bit careful of showing that sort of stuff. So too much Diablo loot hunt for my taste, says Michael. Yeah, it's I like the idea of Diablo, but never really liked the execution of any of those games. I used to play them back in the day. So Kat's the same way. NVIDIA GT 730 cannot run Path of Exile well. To use an authorized software to disable Game Shadow to run it at unauthorized software to disable Game Shadows to run it at 60 FPS. There we are. It's stupid for a developer to force you to use high shadow and high shading. That is strange, actually. Although I guess if it's competitive, I guess they need to try to sort of keep certain things happening with the games. But not that I don't know anything at all about the game, so I shouldn't sort of give any sort of comment about that one. Right, okay, now it's now we've got how far have we gone in? We're only half an hour in, which is good. That's because there's a lot to talk about. So that's coming up in 2 days' time. Is going to be the Slitherine Next Fest. So that's coming up, as I say, in 1 day, 23 hours and 30 minutes. Essentially, is where that one does come through. Other news from Slitherine. I will actually be the reason I can't do this tomorrow, like as in ChatTactic, is because I've got another stream tomorrow on the Slitherine channel. I will be streaming Armour Brigade 2, which I really enjoy playing. So that's actually coming up. That will be on the Slitherine Twitch channel. That I'll be streaming that one through there. And then the day after that will be when they have their next Fest. At the time that Next Fest is on, I'll actually be here back on YouTube again, streaming the release of the Megastructures DLC for Galactic Civilizations, which if you've watched the previous video that I did, I completely screwed up. I've got to actually do another video before that, like within the next 2 days. I'm going to have to go back and do another bit of a playthrough, maybe on Twitch. I'm not sure yet. Or maybe here on YouTube. Maybe I'll do it on YouTube and maybe summarize what I've done. I might even show that now, actually. If we just go back into Galactic Civilizations. In fact, probably the best way of doing this would be to show what it is that's actually with this one through here. So Galactic Civilizations is an awesome game, but we've got the mega structures coming basically this week. Actually, where's that showing? Oh, there we go. It's coming soon. It's actually coming. It says 11th of December. That's for me, but it's for you guys. That's the 10th of December. So you end up sort of with that one just in essentially in 2 days' time again as well. I might show the game. I've been playing this on Twitch, and I completely screwed up. It's entirely on me that this actually happened. But I've been streaming the game for the last week, thinking that I had the new DLC, and I was wondering why it wasn't showing up, and it was completely user error. Was actually the reason that it wasn't showing up. I went and had a look at the dev logs for the coming DLC as well, and I just didn't actually. And when I started sort of trying to piece it all together, I realised that I'd missed an instruction, a very important instruction. So I went back and reread the instructions yesterday, and finally got it sort of working. So I'll just quickly sort of show you in the game that I'm playing what we've got, how things are sort of then working. So if I just go into continue. So I haven't played much of this particular game because it was only yesterday that I've actually found that I was actually playing the wrong the wrong content, and now I do actually have the Mega Structures DLC in, but it's still very early in the game. I've got it set to turns. I'm at turn 24, and I was talking with Battle Mode about a week ago, but he assumed that I was playing the right game. I assumed I was as well, and so because I kept on saying, when do you see the content for Mega Structures? And he was saying, around about turn 70 is when you'll start to sort of pick it up. And so I've been then started playing to get to turn 70-ish, which is sort of like mid-game, but without seeing anything. And then when I saw the devlog, I realised, I actually don't have it installed, even though I thought I had. So that's actually where we are with that one. So I'll come back and answer a few of those questions. I can see there was a saying, what about Armored Brigade 2 are you playing? I'll come back and talk about that as well, actually, because but I'll just but this will be what I'll be doing at around about one, like this will be done an hour after the Next Fest starts, is when I'll be actually playing this particular one, but it'll be here on YouTube, and I will put up a reminder as well if you want to sort of join me playing this game. This is a great game. I really enjoy this, but we are playing I've never played a peaceful faction before, and I've decided to do it this time. It doesn't mean that you play peacefully. It just means that you have like a different, you have more of a diplomatic sort of approach to things, but you still end up with other problems. So, for example, if we have a look at this particular game, this is the area that we control in through here. We've got some very good planets in this particular run through, which is what I quite liking our start in here. But we have some big enemies. So if I go into the diplomacy. We'll see that there different groups have been a bit more negative, other ones are becoming a bit more positive. So in this case, we've got like the Arceans are actually now starting to become a bit more positive, but there was in the early part of the game, it was very, very negative. You can see there, down the bottom there's a -2. It's sort of evening itself back out again now, but this will become, I'm hoping, more positive. So I'm hoping that this will then ultimately become like an ally, and a close ally is what I'm actually hoping for. We've got a few others that we've come across as well, the Drengans, which is going to be interesting. So we've got high diplomacy skill because I am playing it that way. But now it's going to end up where they will definitely be aggressive at some point. I'm not sure where they are. I've got a feeling that they're actually in another sector. And we also have this group in through here as well. These are Cosmic Rebels, and they're going to be also very, very aggressive. I'm pretty sure that they're in the same sector that we're actually in. So this is like a group that I think I had created. So we've got they have sent a delegate across to us. I haven't really been using any. I haven't had the money to get governors or sort of to get diplomats, but I'm going to have to start to do that one, particularly with the Arceans, who have also sent a diplomat across to us. So I really should actually sort of try to, when I do play this one, try to sort that out a little bit better as well. I want to play one more session of this before I start to do the live stream for the release. I want to get closer to that, sort of like to that mid-game area, Where the with what this megastructures does bring in, just to sort of quickly sort of show it, because this is an advanced version of the game, is that when you actually have like a dead planet, what you'll find is that the dead planets have got like a gigamass amount. And this is gigamass. You can see I've got like 4 gigamass back up through here. Gigamass is condensed raw matter harvested from dead planets by harvester ships. So harvester ships are what we're sort of aiming for. I'm trying to get to that one fairly soon. And if I go back into the technology, I'll just sort of show you where, oops, wrong one, resume. That one through here. Go to the Tech Navigator. And so with the, you can see through here in the engineering tab, as you start to sort of go through the engineering tabs in through here, you end up with a whole other branch called Gigamass Theory back in this other side. And this one then unlocks the gigamass amounts. And so you end up with a, so I've already got the first one. I haven't done the next one yet, which is gigamass harvesting. And so what this one then goes and does is allows you then to unlock a whole lot of different aspects for the game. So I've only just got to get to this bit here, and then I think that the whole of the mega structures is then going to unlock for me. And so the harvester ships can then go out and pick up from those dead planets. And then as we go even deeper in, we've got stellar architecture. This one allows me then to build a Dyson sphere, and the Dyson sphere is a energy collector. And so it essentially, I believe that what it does is it's going to then give us even more gigamass, and that's based on the class of the star that it's been built around. And so these are built around the actual stars, and then from there we end up with different nexuses where we can start to sort of then enhance what we then do as a civilization. And so these become sort of like late mid-game and end-game aspects, which can give you a massive boost once you've got the gigamass energy stored up to be able to then sort of do different things. Like there's all sorts of different stellar gateways, different augments, ring world megastructures, things like this. There's a mountain of stuff that you know you can then end up doing as you sort of progress along this particular track of the tech tree, which is interesting. So I've got to the first one, I just haven't got to these other ones, and I want to get to pretty much here if I can before I do too much of the next live stream. What I may end up having to do is to try to do a live stream probably on Twitch to get close to it, do the live stream for the release of the game, and then do another live stream in the subsequent days as well, and just cover it a little bit more that way. But the live stream I did a week ago, it was I wasn't playing with the DLC, even though I thought I was. I've really got to go and rename that as well, because I did screw that one up. So anyway, that's essentially the core of what this one does bring in. There's all sorts of other things that come in as well, but that's what happens. So the gigamass, there's now a gigamass amount. It doesn't show up on the planets that you can then go and settle, but on these barren worlds, these class zeros, they've now got a purpose, which is pretty cool. The worlds that you sort of then get to see, like Dastopia world itself is a white star. This is the best for building the actual Dyson spheres, but I think it destroys the system. Then you've got other ones like the big yellow stars and things. These are sort of colder. So the white stars are the best ones, I believe, for when we do go and start to build the actual the Dyson sphere. So Dyson sphere, if you're not sure, yeah, so there's another good white star back over there. That one may be something. There's nothing really great there. There's nothing in that territory. That might be worth trying to build it at this point, at some point in the future. This guy here is sort of settling this region of space. He's sort of picking up all these planets. There's a few other planets back out through here as well, which I probably should grab at some stage. But anyway, I still haven't even searched out through here yet. So there's different groups. Actually, what's that one? That's the Drengans are in with us. Okay, I didn't realise that. Okay, so we do actually have the Drengans in our side of space. So this will heat up pretty quickly actually over the coming days as we get towards that next live stream. So I will be live streaming that, as I say, in 2 days' time. Pretty much in exactly 2 days from now is what I'll be doing. So I've got a commitment with Stardock to actually to do it at that time for the release, and so I'm really looking forward to that, because I do love this game. Like not just enjoy it, I absolutely love it. As a board game style Space 4X, I think it's at the very, very top. It's and this mega structures even just based on what battle mode had said, I'm really, really interested in what it actually does have. Actually, I've got another one there. Yeah, more food there as well. It's a great, great game, this one. Really, really well done. It's so much better than the previous iterations of Gal Civ. Yeah, it's sort of funny, every time I start up playing Gal Civ, there's always questions about what's better, Gal Civ 3 or 4, or what's the differences. But it's dramatically better, Gal Civ 4 than Gal Civ 3. Gal Civ 2 was a very, very good game in its day, and this one is more like that, but it's so much better than that again as well. Anyway, I won't keep on showing this one, but that will be coming up in 2 days' time. So if you're around, actually what I might do is I'll exit the game here, and I set up a timer so I can talk about the timings of these different things. So if we have a look, that will be on December the 11th, and for me that will be a 4 a.m. start and going to around about that time frame there. So if you sort of see it from your different perspectives, from GMT it's a 6 p.m. on December the 10th. Central European will be 7 p.m. The Pacific time will be 10 a.m. and Eastern time will be 1 p.m. So that will be sort of the timing for that one there on the 10th. So Tuesday the 10th for you guys, Wednesday the 11th for me. I believe I was sort of looking at through there. Right, coming back to the other question. So Lewis said, what about Armour Brigade are you playing? I just like the random maps, to be honest. So I don't know if I've shown that. Actually, I might show it because it's a pretty amazing little game, Armour Brigade 2. I don't think it'll take that long to load. By the way, Armour Brigade 2 is only available on the Matrix or Slitherine stores, not available on Steam, but it will be next year. So it's almost like what they're doing at the moment is they're using that this time as a bit of an early access. Now, if you do grab the, I'll just use this one. That's okay. Sorry, I can only do one thing at a time. I'm really bad like that one. So with the game itself, it's I can continue a game, but if I just go to new game, I'll just do it from there. There's missions, but there's also campaigns. We can generate a campaign. This is really cool. And I've got different maps. Sorry, I'll just go back to the start. This is, at the moment, is almost like in an early access mode, and it's only released on Steam. Sorry, on Slitherine and Matrix at the moment. That will then change in the new year and become available on Steam. If you do get it at the moment, you do get a Steam key as well when it does release on Steam. So don't feel that you've got to go either or. It's actually it's an and. You do have the ability to get the Steam key if you get the Matrix version now. I'm finding it. I'm not finding any real problems with the game at all. Like, it's pretty cool. So if I just go, for example, into the, I always just really like Finland. I don't know why. I just do. And in this case, if we're going to be building a campaign, this is a real map of 1980s Finland. And so if I just go and grab, say, from there, and then I just go and click over there and then right click, it will then try to make a campaign through this middle area. So it's now building the different maps on the real terrain. And that one worked. It's actually got all the way through. We start off in the middle here, so this will be the first of the actual combats. And then it will start to sort of, if we win that one, we can then sort of start to move forward across these different maps. Now there's a big river there that has to be crossed as well. That would be an interesting one to try to get across. That map is viable, but it's going to be very difficult. There's only one little bridge down in the bottom there, so that would be a very interesting fight. That particular one, that would be really, really interesting. So incredible defensive position. So you've got these, like the real world map, but you've got these different sorts of choke points on them that, as I said before, are going to be are really going to open things right up. So now that would be. That would be, if you're attacking that way, that the enemy would then be defending. And it goes back the other way as well. Like if you start to lose fights, you then end up having to fight your way back to your headquarters, which would be the last one through here. So it's sort of like a tug of war across these particular maps. So the maps are now set in concrete essentially, but we start off in the middle through here. And so when you click on done, back and through this other side, you then get to choose. So we've got different army groups now as well, which we didn't actually have when I was testing the game out. So we've got the US Army, we've got the USSR, we've got Finland as well, like we still can play as the Finnish Army, the FRG, the DGR, back and through this other side as well. So we've got like West Germany, East Germany, and the British Army as well, and Polish Army. So you've got all these different army groups, which these all came in DLCs for the original game. But they're part of the base game, which I'm really surprised at. I really wasn't expecting to see that. The maps as well, I wasn't expecting to see that many maps. The original game released with 2 maps. That was it, pretty much, just a training map and the other bits and pieces. It's really like it's just, I'm so impressed with this. So you just choose your forces, different types like mechanized, or if you choose dynamic, you have to then choose your own forces, but you can have anything. But if you choose armoured, mechanised, infantry, these will then, you can actually set these to auto. So if I just go into next, I just click on done. Combat power, if I've got unit selection, I can just make that one auto. Just go and click on done. And so it's now just setting up how things actually work, how you're going to then play these things out. For example, if I just go and click on play, and we then are supposed to sort of pick a few different things, but I won't worry about picking anything else. I'll just click on done, just so you can sort of see what it's like. And so in this case, we then have our different forces. I can zoom sort of right back out. So we've got our forces in through here. Green line, I can position them anywhere I like on that green line. We're going to have different groups in through here. We've got like M113, so this is like a mechanized force. There should be some tanks on here as well. I would imagine. Yeah, main battle tanks back and through this other side as well. M60s. So not the greatest tanks, but they're there. So you can sort of just rearrange your forces to wherever you sort of want them to be. On the actual map itself. Now the original game, this is how you played the original game. You played it basically on a 2D map that looked exactly like this. We'd sort of then have to sort of, you've got it like a grid system where you're trying to move them forward. There's our scouting groups. I won't reposition them at all, but this is like the dividing line. The enemy scouts can be anywhere in their area as well, and then they've got like a red line back there, so the main force from the enemy will be back in this side. So this would be a lot of forest fighting, which would make it sort of like, very much infantry heavy. And so in this case, you'd be wanting to try to sort of find roads, and these are real roads. But where this game absolutely shines, if I sort of start to zoom in, we start to sort of see the 3D elements. If I go and click on that unit as an example, and then start to look around, we've now got a 3D map. And this wasn't done in the original game. And so this is awesome because it gives you such a good feel for the lines of sight that you actually have. You see, we've now got a completely different feel for the actual game itself. It's very much like Combat Mission now, the way that it sort of does feel. And so they're quite similar sorts of games. We've got a creek that's running down through this other side. If I hover over that one, this is a stream. Streams can be crossed. So we actually have a stream that, for some reason, runs uphill and downhill. I'm not sure what's happened there. I haven't seen that before in the game, where there's something that's that is actually, that can't be real. So there's something happens incorrectly with the height data that they built the map with. That's the first time I've ever seen anything where the river systems are actually do something wonky like that, which is unusual to see. But anyway, that's just the way it works. I don't know how or why. But in most cases, they're going to be fairly low. And so you end up with different things. For example, like as the stream sort of comes through, there's a bridge that runs through there, a bridge that runs through here. This would be real world stuff. Like this would actually be what would have been here in the 1980s. Not that the river would have run uphill like that, but it's a very, very good game. You know, like just trying to sort of get across these different systems. If it's not a stream, like it'll be impassable. Like that's a stream with trees. Streams are passable, so you can actually just get straight across the streams. If it was an actual river, though, you wouldn't be able to get across. It's just a really cool little game. I won't play any of it, but it's but that's essentially where it is, and yeah, it's just nicely done. So I'll be probably just playing a random one of those, I would guess. I'm not even sure if I go if I just go back out, if I save and exit, and just go into load game. Yeah, I was doing British Army versus. This is where I was last time. And yeah, I can't remember any of it at all. So I had an actual save there. I think if I just go and load this one up, I'll just see where we are with this particular game. This would be sort of like halfway through something. Actually, it looks like it's pretty much the start of something where we're just sort of moving through up to the halfway line. Yeah, this is actually capture and hold the objective locations in this case. So we've got different objectives we have to then go and sort of take control of. So I think I won the first battle, and this one here, they've now got two objectives on their side of the map that we then need to go through. And so you need to plan out exactly how you're going to do it. If I just go back out, load back in the autosave. It's probably the same one, now taken a little bit further across. Yeah, so in this case, yeah, we've got things that have crashed. So just within a few minutes, there's been like a helicopter that's been shot down. In this instance, that would be one of our helicopters. So we've got tanks that have also been destroyed as they've sort of come through different areas. Actually, this was the end of the last battle. This was the actual where it all finally ended up. So this, yeah, it ended up being a total victory for us, but we're not without a few losses. We did have a few different losses back and through here. So this was actually the end of one of the other fights. I'm not exactly sure when. So I'll probably just set up another campaign when I play this one tomorrow and just go from there. But this is a great little game, actually. Very, very well done. Very well done. It's fun to play. Anyway, I won't keep on playing that one through there. I'll just quit out of that one. I don't want to save. I'm going to have to. I'll just exit the program. But that's Armour Brigade 2. It's a really nice game. That'll be coming to Steam next year as well. I'm not sure if the next fest will then talk about when that is actually coming. So we've got 1 hour left. I've still got other things to talk about. The other thing that will be happening is if I just go back to the dates again. So that's what's coming up tomorrow. So if I have if we have a look at the actual times that are on that one through there, that's the actual time frame for tomorrow. That's in 2 days. I'll be on the Slitherine channel tomorrow at that same 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. for me, same sort of time frame, but the day earlier. So December the 9th. December the 10th, I'll be on my YouTube channel, and I will put a reminder in for that one, just to be playing some Gal Civ for the launch of Megastructures, and I hope to have to be a little bit more advanced than where I am currently in that game. Then on the next day, if I go into the 12th, I'm actually. There's a competition that starts at, when does this one start? I think it starts at this time. It goes for about that length of time, I think. Yeah, this is the, so on the 11th, if you're on Twitch, I'll be streaming this on Twitch. It's scheduled to go for up to about 4 hours. It's going to be a tournament for a new game. It's actually a game that came out into early access a fair few years ago now, but there's really sort of pushed the development of it in recent times, called Glorious Companions. And so that will actually be something that I'll be then streaming, and this will be a tournament that will actually run against other YouTubers, which will be fun. So there's about 8 of us, I think, that are sort of been pulled together by the developers to actually fight this one out. So I'm not sure. Like I don't know much about how to play the game. I'll show you what the game actually is. Mainly just a tournament because that's what I'll be playing. But it's a tactical RPG, but with an open world aspect to it. It feels a lot like Battle Brothers, but with a preset world that you can then sort of do anything you like in. It's very tactical, a bit like Battle Brothers. So anyway, that's the it's coming up again on the December the 11th for you guys, for that sort of starting at well, they're sort of using Central European time as the actual designation for the game, which is 6 p.m. Central European, 5 p.m. GMT, 9 a.m. PST, and Eastern is 12 p.m. For Brisbane, it's 3 a.m. For Sydney, I always forget whether Sydney is in Melbourne or 1 hour before or after me. I think they might be before me, so it might be 2 a.m. I'm not sure for Sydney and Melbourne, so I'm not expecting to see many Australians here to cheer me on. So we'll go with we'll just go back with the. I'll just show you that game as well. Actually, before I do that, I might just read some of the comments, just get through those as well. God, I've missed a lot of them here, guys. This will take me a little bit of time just to catch up. So, yeah, so Catson saying I want one day for them to make Populous. Yeah, that would be cool. I've been playing Diplomacy is not an option. It's quite fun, says Sean Parsons. Yeah, that's a cool game as well. That's a game that also just hit version 1.0, I think, recently. Cat's saying I also want to do something like Crusader Kings, but in space. I wonder why no one made... Yeah, there is. That is... Star Dynasties. There you go. Star Dynasties is Crusader Kings 3 in space, sort of. It's a cool game, actually. It's sort of like it feels like you're playing Dune with in sort of like a high level tactical, like high level strategic game, not a tactical game. All right, where did we get up to? Michael's then saying, not many days for you to convince me to buy the DLC. I like watching you play Gal Civ 4. Well, the thing that struck me was just how much Battle Mode was saying how good it was compared to the other DLC that had been brought out for Gal Civ. And I do listen to a lot to what Battle Mode has to say, because we do like the same games. We often have a different slant on what we like about them, but we tend to like them. And so for him to say that, I do put a lot of stock into what he said about about it being the best one. And at the time when I spoke to him was when I had screwed up and I wasn't playing with the DLC, and I was concerned that I had played a little bit into the game and I wasn't seeing anything at all about it. But it was completely on me. That was just my fault. Cheyenne is then saying, hello Daz, so far I picked up Fog Kingdoms and CM Final Blitzkrieg, there we are, so combat mission. Still on the fence about Distant Worlds 2, I'm afraid that game will overwhelm me. No, it's the way you approach it. It's a game that you can sit back, you can literally just sit back and watch it. You can treat it like an aquarium if you wanted to, and just watch what actually happens. So you don't have to even play the game. That's I think is the key to looking at it. Think of it like a simulation more so than a game. And if you think of it in those terms, you'll find that the things that develop in the game are really interesting to watch. So I can happily just sit back and watch the AI play itself in Distant Worlds because of the simulation. One thing I like to do is actually let the simulation run for about 20 years and then take over to see if I can fix things up a little bit better. But it's not a game that you... I think that when you go in, like thinking of it like these other Space 4Xs, where you've got to have like full control over everything, if you think of that like with Distant Worlds, it is going to overwhelm you. Yes, so don't think of it in those terms. Like just have most things on automation and just pick on the one or two things that you enjoy playing with it, and just deal with those. That's really the key to having fun with Distant Worlds. Distant Worlds is an awesome game. Like it's a space simulation game. Nothing like it. Nothing even close to it. Like it's just so far ahead of everything else to do with the full on the modelling of the mining, the economy, the way that you can only build ships if you've got the resources coming into particular planets, things like that. It's it's just so far ahead of anything else in that sort of simulation category. There's nothing else like it. It's incredible. Okay, so where did we get up to? So actually, Adrian is saying Star Dynasties. There we go. Great minds think alike. Crunch is in saying Distant Worlds 2 is my favourite of all time. Not at all overwhelming, since you can choose your level of AI involvement. Exactly, yeah. And Crunch is saying read Distant Worlds 2 does gets deeply into ship design, but that's entirely optional. And that actually is. And it's one of those things where I've tried playing a few times where I don't get involved in that, and it's just as enjoyable. Like, you don't have to do it. You can just make do with what the AI makes for you. Like, the AI is great in that game. It really is good. So Kat was then saying, yes, it's incomplete and abandoned. Is it? I thought it was complete. I thought that I enjoyed the Star Dynasties. So, and Invictus is saying, guys, did you play the Troop Tactical World War II Battles? It's really good, and you have a demo on Steam to check it out. I do actually have the Troop. I haven't really gotten into it in a big way. I think I've still got it installed. There it is there. There's just too many other games like that around at the moment, like Headquarters World War II and stuff like that. So I haven't really played much of it, but I maybe should have another look at that one again. There's another one that I really should look at again as well, in that sort of same genre, which is the Hex of Steel. I really should have a look at that one again. That apparently that's just gotten better and better and better over time, just with the everything about that game. So I really should look at that one again as well. We've still got time. That's good. I'm mindful that I do have to get going. I've only got like an hour left, and we still have to do the giveaway. So we've got I'm going to pick 5 or so games to play over the holiday season. So Gal Civ 4 is F1, Age of Wonders 4. They're all great games. So Kat saying I only have Galactic Civ 2 in Steam. Civ 2 was Gal Civ 2 was a really, really cool game. It's very old now, but Gal Civ 4 really does take it to a whole other area. How hard are megastructures to build compared to normal structures? Well, I haven't got that far in yet, so I'm thinking once you actually do all of the development, you just need to have the gigamass. So you have to go and mine the gigamass first in the game and then build. I don't think it's going to be that tricky. I think you need to try to protect whichever star system you use to sort of go and do it. And I think it destroys the stars in that system. So you can't use it, for example, on like on your home world or anything like that. But you want it fairly close to your home world. So just looking at that map, when we looked at it before, that second white star may be a bit too far away, but I'll have to see what happens when I start playing it. Yeah, random maps are amazing, says Liz. That's for Armour Brigade. Yep. So and Liz is saying Armour Brigade 2 is one of my favourite games of the year. Yeah, it's a very, very good game. Like great game. So Kat saying tanks cannot swim. It's a cat fact. And Kat saying Poland did not have tanks. Well, they're talking 1980s, not 19. Not World War II. So they did. Did they have tanks? I think they had some tanks in World War II. So Victor's saying, I wish they made Armour Brigade 2 more realistic, like with real info and stats on tanks and army weapons. With 3D engine, you are now against Broken Arrow. That did all that much better. Yeah, the Broken Arrow. It's similar games in that sort of sense. You're right. I hadn't really thought of it as being in the same genre of game, but that sort of does make it sort of like that. The thing I do find that Armour Brigade 2 is much more like combat mission than Broken Arrow. Broken Arrow, a lot of the stuff is abstracted, and which is one of the things I don't really love about Broken Arrow. I think my preference would still be to go for Armour Brigade 2, just from the limited amount I have played of Broken Arrow. I was not impressed, for example, the way that the troops moved into buildings, whereas it's like Broken Arrow is designed to be played more at arm's length, Whereas these other games, like Combat Mission, you do get in really close with what's going on. Also, in both Combat Mission and in Armoured Brigade, every bullet is modelled. Like even the trajectory, like it will actually sort of drop as it fires. So there's a lot of things in through there. What did we get up to? Cat's in saying, did Poland have tanks in World War I too? I never read about that. I think that they had like light tanks, but not very many of them. They were still mainly using cavalry in World War II. No one had tanks at the start of World War I, so that doesn't really sort of count. But in World War II, I think that they had some, but not a lot. Almost like armoured cars, I think. So Adrian's saying they were poor. What kind of tanks? Don't be ridiculous. They did have 1890 Prussian cannons too. Okay, and I'm saying cheers, Daz and chat. Was outside shoveling snow. It's so funny because yesterday we went to a wedding on the beach and it was just so hot. It was just so hot. It was unbelievable. It was. It was a very interesting wedding. Like it was fun wedding, but the actual the reception, but the actual wedding itself on the beach was just way too hot. Tenor is saying Distant Worlds 2 is the only game where I just can't bring myself to go to war. I blame Solaris and the choke point gameplay for that. Distant Worlds 2 feels a lot more messy compared to that. It is messy in that sort of sense, in that you can bypass choke points, but it's still, there's ways around that as well. Like if you use the nebulas, you can channel elements through different areas. War is one of those things. I tend to wait until war is declared on me before I sort of do much with Distant Worlds 2. I tend not to declare wars much myself unless there's something I really need badly. Like if there's a resource, for example, that's extremely important, or there might be it might be even just be a choke points area. Like usually it's not taking over a planet, it's usually taking over some sort of resource location. Is for me is where I would tend to go to war. Michael's saying, I'm hoping for more Daz-Demption games. I am playing at the moment the Gal Civ. I'm playing as a Daz-Demption game, and I'm looking for more games where I can actually name characters. So I'm looking forward to Xenonauts 2 sort of getting even further down in its development, because that's a good Daz-Demption game. Daz-Demption, if you're not aware, is what I play on Twitch, where the viewers can name characters, and if the character gets killed in combat, they get banned for an hour from the chat. Snowder is saying, hey Daz, thanks for the content. Which do you feel is better, Age of Wonders 4 or Conquest of EO? Age of Wonders 4 for me, just simply because there's more procedural generation, and also there's much more personalization. So Age of Wonders 4 is a much more polished game in my opinion. I really love the Age of Wonders series. It's been my favourite series of all time. So that's sort of where I've just put that out there. Catson saying you can mount a cannon on a tractor and call it a tank. There we go. So okay, where do we get down to? So I'll just skip past some of these. So Chris is saying, just got back from walking the dog. Bloody cold out there. There we are. So it looks like a lot of you are experiencing cold weather. Cat's saying here is summer and hot, but we had tropical storms. Yeah, it's just very sunny where we are. Where do we get up to? Hi Began, how you going? Hi ZXM. And we've got Chris is saying, where are you from? UK here. ZXM saying I have to watch the first hour after the stream. Yeah, there we go. General saying it would require a lot more smaller fleets in Distant Worlds 2 for wartime, but I hate the micro when it comes to that. I don't rush the AI with that, which makes me reluctant to go to war unless forced into it. Says Tenru. It would require a lot more smaller fleets. I just tend to leave. There's fleet management in Distant Worlds 2 as well, which I rely absolutely 100% on. I don't build fleets from scratch. I just use the templates, and that means that all the micromanagement goes out the window. I do have a bit of time, so maybe I'll just quickly show you that. So if you are playing Distant Worlds 2, I'll just go back into space. Oh, by the way, I did mean to mention that there's been a big update to the base game of Distant Worlds 2. If you're not playing with the open beta, it's like there has been like an update to the content that just came through during the week. So rebalancing things in diplomacy and stuff like that. Here we go. Can take a little bit of time to load in. I'll see if I've got a game that's been saved, where we're just sort of a little way in. I can just show you the how different fleets how you can actually sort of do things. It's not easy to find stuff in Distant Worlds 2. I think that's probably the biggest negative now with the game. So yeah, saying with micro, I mean making sure that the fleets defend their systems properly. Building them is not a problem. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the templating system is all you need. It is all you need. So it does it all. Okay, so if we just go into continue game, I'm not sure how far in I am on this particular game. Okay. Yeah, Diamond saying Roger that for the vanilla Distant Worlds 2 update info. Yeah, it's just been polished up a lot. The actual game, so I do want to get back to it as well at some point. Catson saying I liked Stellaris at first and got a mod for Star Wars races, but then all the bunch of DLCs popped up and became a no-go. Yeah, it's sort of funny. Some people like the DLC and other people don't. I don't like having too much DLC. Come on, game, load in. Maybe struggling. I think it's a massive galaxy. I don't tend to play on galaxies that are too large. Usually about 1,000 stars or something. I'm going to grab myself a drink of water, be right back. It's been taking a long time. A long time. I was going to show Glorious Companions as well. I will do that after this. If this doesn't load in, I don't know why it's stalled here. Oh, there we go. It's in now. Let's move that one up. It should. Why is that showing up? That's the message log. There we are. Okay. So, yeah, with the fleets that I've got, and I'm not sure how long I've been playing this particular game, but you can see there's different fleet markers back in through this different area. So these are the different fleets that we actually have in through this other side. Very quickly, as a bit of a pointer as to what to look for. If you do go into your military tab back in through here, and then you've got the fleet templates, which is the only thing in the game without a tooltip. Again, makes it more difficult. This is actually where I build the fleets, and so in this case, I've got assault fleets, attack fleets, defense fleets, invasion fleets, and raiding forces. These are all pretty much the like a pre-built. Some of these I may have done where I can actually sort of like you can't delete the base ones, the attack fleets, yeah, defense fleets. So these are all essentially just, this one here, the invasion fleet, is one that I did actually go and I can delete that one because I built it based on another template. But if we have a look at these ones in through here, for example, we've got the defense fleet in through this other side. If I just go and edit this one, I then have the composition of what's going to be going into it. The tactical settings are the default for the actual fleet itself. So these defense fleets go to 50M range is sort of what's important through there. But this actually, by setting this up with the numbers that you want and setting up the types of ships that are going to be in there, it makes it very, very clean in terms of being able to look after them. If I go back to my actual fleets themselves and have a look at the fleets, which is the next tab across, we've got different, like if I go to the 5th Defence Fleet, for example, down through here and have a bit of a look at it. So this one here is has got 11 ships in it, and it does actually have, I've got to top up with the fleet with ships because I've given it, the fleet template is Defence Fleet in through there, so that's what I've got selected from what I've built. If it doesn't have the contingent of ships that we want it to have in there, I can just go and tell it top up the fleet with ships, and if it can build it, it will. I'm clicking on it now, but I may not have enough resources or something like that to be able to build another ship or whatever it takes. I think there was another ship required for that particular fleet. What have the other ones got? That's got 11. This one's got 13. You can actually add extra ships to them as well. This one doesn't have the top up with ships, so it's just an easy way of just making sure, as long as you've got the resources, you can then go and build the different bits and pieces. Also, the other aspect to this is that particular fleet there, for example, which is sitting back in through here, the 5th Defence Fleet, in this particular world, depending on how far I want that to protect whatever it's doing, I can just go back to it again. It brings up this bottom screen through here, and then just go to the tactics, and from here I can see exactly what it's doing. So it's actually protecting anything inside this area, and so all of those are protected by that particular fleet, but I can just change that to whatever I want. Like if it's just going to be the same system, when I go and click on that again, like the 11th, you'll see there's like a little circle around there. That's all it's going to be then doing. So quite often what I'll do is if I'm really just trying to protect like a base or something like that, I'll just go and change this one to be something like nearby or same location. That way you won't even see this. There's a tiny circle just in the very, very middle there, and that is, we don't see it when we zoom in here, but it's essentially just going to be looking after this one planet. That's all it's going to be doing. And so I don't even have to think about it once I've done that. And if I go and have a look at these, the way that the fleets are sort of then working, I can then I can get an overlay, and I forget how to do it. It's one of these. That's not it. Don't think. Exploration, I can't remember which one it is. But there is a way to sort of show all of the overlaps with all the different fleets. I just can't recall how to do it. But these are sort of like, this one here is protecting all of those systems in through there. That one's protecting a smaller group. So with those overlays, you then end up having a situation where the automation will then only look at those different areas, which is pretty cool. Anyway, I won't keep on going, but the combination of set tactics and the fleet templates is extremely powerful for automation in Distant Worlds 2. All right, let's leave that one out of there. Let's just exit to desktop. So as I was saying before, I didn't show the actual game I was going to be showing. So this one in through here on December the 12th, when I play from that time. No, that time there. It's going to be it's going to be about 4. Hang on, is that right? Yeah, that's right. No, it's not right. It's this one here. So it's going to be from there through to there. So that block of time, this will be done on my Twitch channel, but I will actually upload this again afterwards to to my main channel. I'll just show you the game. It's Glorious Companions. I'm going to be putting up a video about the game today, I think, at some point. I'll just go and open it up. It's a game that was around some time ago, and but it's been, as I said before, it's just sort of really got a lot of extra work that's been put into it right now. So this one it's essentially a bit more like Battle Brothers, but in a preset over map, but it's an open world game. So if I go into a new game, I then actually have different characters, and this is a good way of explaining how the game sort of does work. There's 2 different races. There's like at this stage, the version that I've got only has the one race. There is going to be 2 campaigns that you can then go and play. So there is actually a story element as well as open elements. And so these are humans living in the western and northern parts, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Just go into next. There is actually a lizard man group as well. So just go into next and through here. You've got 4 different classes. So we've got Trapper, Blade Dancer, Veteran, and Engineer. And they've all got different sorts of skills as well. And you can then go and choose what they can then go and do. So the company attributes, the company itself will then level up. So over time you build up a company, just like in Battle Brothers, and you sort of then go for it. So it's fairly open the way it does sort of play. I won't spend too much time with this one, but if I just go into, for example, if I go to Veteran and just go into next, you can sort of change the way things do work and through here. I'll just leave it there. Just go and test for now, and test co. That'll do. Just go and get started. So you can see there's a lot of nuance, like curved blades such as saber and scimitar are better at piercing light armor, while weapons with a hammer or broadsword are perfect against heavy armor wearers. So different weapons will actually affect different types of armor. There's not it's not specific, the armor. I'll just quit past this story. And we've got the tutorials in through here as well, which I'll just get rid of those. Exit. It's just loading in. It does take a little bit of time. I've got a special build. Oh, hang on. I've exited right out of the whole game. Anyway, I won't go into too much of that side of things, but that's actually like a tactical role-play game where you do have an open world where you can do anything you like in that world. Then we've got the custom battle, which is what I'll be doing. So this is one where you've actually got like a local battle, and through here is where you can sort of then go and choose a combat. We've got Team 1 versus Team 2. This will be multiplayer when we play it against other YouTubers, which should be good fun. And you've got different amounts of points. It's very much like Battle Sector in that sort of sense. You've got different sorts of armies depending on the points that you actually have. We'll be playing the 800-point system. And in this case, if I just go across into like one of the different sorts of terrain maps in through here, it'll just change the terrain that we then get to sort of then go and play in. But if I just go into like a small forest with a novice team, I did set up a test one before, like when I was doing this, my recording. But if I go and choose, for example, Steam Punch, and for Team 2, I can then choose the computer will then play, and it can then also then just use the one that I had created. But the number of points, I didn't finish it off, so I can then just go in. But I won't play it out. But essentially, it's a turn-based tactical, and this is the same as the fights that happen in the actual base game itself. But there is nuance to the way each of the actual characters does work. So it's sort of it's interesting. As I said, very much like Battle Brothers. I'll just go back out of that one through there. The battle crews, like the one that I was creating in here, Testo 1, and through this other side. So I had started to sort of build these things. So all of the different units, when you bring them in, like you can see that he's just using a fist at this point in time. But I can start to sort of change to fill up the points that I have. I can add more characters in, different types of characters can be brought in as well. But I've got to keep it under the 400 points. And so in this case, the veteran I've sort of decked out with very, very good armor, good weaponry. I've changed a few of the attributes in through here to then change what actually happens with his actual skill set. For the trapper down through this other side, we may decide, okay, look, let's actually have a ranged unit. So we bring something down, for example, like to choose. There's a lot of stuff to choose from in here. Short bows, muskets, throwing daggers, for example. This one only requires 6 action points to attack, and so this is something where the action point system I can throw multiple times per turn. So if I go and grab those in through there, in the offhand I can then choose other things, for example, like another bag of throwing daggers. So I can actually have more daggers in through here as well. So I can just deck him out with basic things. That's not going to cost me another 11. I can just save that, which then sort of, I'm now up to 280 points. For his head, maybe just fur, which doesn't really sort of impact the action points back in through here, but that will give him a little bit of protection. Save that, another 12 points. In this case, we know that there are going to be 6 action points to attack. So I've got 17. If I go to 18, that means he can attack 3 times if he doesn't move. So I can start to sort of deck these things out, like agility a little bit, whatever I want to do. So that's sort of how you end up with a situation where you end up with a fairly nuanced fighting group that then goes into those particular fights. It's pretty cool. I've got to say, when I was playing around with it a little bit, I was impressed with what you can do. So it should be fun to see what actually does happen. I'm sort of I've got a strategy in mind for when I go in and fight. I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to give away any of my the way I'm wanting to approach the game. But essentially, you've got like a leader. If you kill the leader, you win the game. And so it's a bit like chess in that sort of sense. So I think there's going to be 2 different types of strategies. One will be to have like a very heavily armoured, like in this case, very heavily armoured combat leader like this one is, who is just going to be trying to stay around through brute force, or it'll be someone that's more like a sort of like a bit more high dodge, and possibly will stay at the back, almost like a support type unit. So I'm not sure which way other people will play, or which way I'll play. I'll probably actually build a few more groups before I go and do that one. But it looks like an interesting game. So anyway, I thought I'd just show you that one. That one's coming up. We better start to wind up, guys, because I've got half an hour left. I don't think there's anything else I needed to talk about. I know that there's a lot coming up this week. Like, this is a big week of games in the lead up into Christmas. So I just might have a quick look through the Steam information. And maintenance update for Distant Worlds 2. Glorious Companions is grand release of Glorious Campaigns just around the corner. Mark your calendars for December the 19th. So that will be a week. It says plus the Glorious Tournament. Pretty sure that's us. Okay, so this is actually going back what's actually happened over the previous times. I'll have to look at that actually. That looks interesting. The tournament, here we go. So this is actually the one that I'm playing in. So here we go. So Shuffle FM versus me. So I've got an F on the end there. I'm not sure why. But that's so this will be the Glorious Campaigns is not only a single-player story-filled campaign. We wanted to showcase some of its multiplayer mode aspects. We're hosting the Glorious Tournament, a thrilling showdown featuring some of the most talented content creators. There we go. I'm one of the most talented in the turn-based RPG scene, which is they compete in the 1 versus 1 arena battles in the best of 3 format. So that's happening, as I said before. I gave you the time there before. So where you can tune in live on the Ancient Forge Twitch channel and participating streamers channels as well. There is giveaways for that. I'm not sure how I'll structure that at this point in time, but there will be giveaways on their channel. I'll also have giveaways, but I'm not sure. It may be best on their channel for the giveaways, to be honest. I'm just thinking about that because I'm probably going to be overwhelmed with the actual tournament itself, so I won't be able to do much with giveaways, but I'll see how we go. So we've got Turn-Based Lovers versus Ping Vaharis, Greer versus Best Marmot. Excuse me, sorry about that. We've got STLK versus Ponch in through there as well. So that's going to be the where it goes. So round 1 matchups. The top 4 competitors will face each other, will advance to the semi-finals, where they'll face off to determine the top 2 finalists, best of the best. So there we go. So it should be good fun. So the rewards, we get 20 Steam keys for Glorious Companions to share with their community. So if I do win, we'll have lots and lots of giveaways, and we'll probably have to do some big giveaway session somewhere in the near future. A monument commemorating the winner finalist victory near the arena zone in the game itself. There we go. That'll be fun. So that'll be pretty cool. All participants will also receive keys for giveaways, ensuring every community can celebrate. There we go. That's great. So I'm really looking forward to this actually. So that's the Glorious Tournament in through there. So they're really sort of prepping it very, very well. In fact, they're actually sort of, even making special content for us to have a look at, so we get a few tips on how to proceed with the actual game itself. I've been playing it for a fair bit over the last week, just to sort of try to get my head into. I don't want to embarrass myself, if I'm being honest. So I'm just trying to get a bit of a feel for how I should actually approach it. So we'll see actually how that one goes. But I'm looking forward to that one. So anyway, that's the Glorious Companions, Pensacourt 2. I'm streaming this one actually over the weekend, actually, a long stream. I really enjoy the random maps with that one. They do get bogged down, but I do enjoy them. So that's what I was playing. Gal Civ 4, we've got Mega Structures coming up at the, as I said before, midweek. Mortal Glory 2, actually, I should have a look at that again. Mortal Glory, I don't know if that's a different game. Next game, yeah, okay, Adventure Roguelike. Mortal Glory 2 was fun, and Mortal Glory was as well. Just skip past any of these. So, publisher sale for Manor Lords. No, this is back in October. This is now old news. Okay, so we've got, see if there's anything there that we need to look at. Okay, this is just information. So this is just telling you about information with Sins of a Solar Empire. Been streaming that over the last week as well. Dominions, another patch. This is not a content patch as such. There's no new content coming in with that one. Xenonauts 2, as I mentioned before, is almost ready for deployment. So when that one is deployed, that will definitely be something we want to have a good look at, because that will be the whole of the campaign now they're finished, but still with more stuff coming. There we go. So we've got the Fill the Glory Hierarchies and Livelihood, and one of my live streams back in through there. So that was a bit of old news now. And Keeper RL, small cleaning in Steam Workshop mod versions. There we are. So there's a bit of a clean up on in there for Keeper RL. Great game again as well. And then back in November, the Tiger update, which we've already covered. So I'll leave the news there, and we'll now do the giveaway. So the giveaway will be for Battle Sector. So we'll be giving away a Battle Sector key. So again, thank you to Slitherine and their Next Fest. Astra Militarum will be the DLC coming for this particular one. So we'll get set up. Just bear with me, and I'll just go and add in the what we need in here. So we just go to Nightbot. Don't like the new interface for this. It's not as good as what it was. Just go back to settings, keyword, next, and win. So if you just type the word win into the chat, you should then appear in here. So that's what we're looking for. So just if you guys can just type in win, and then you'll be in the running for for that one there. How can you be included in the giveaway? Says Tom Kimp. Yeah, just type in the word win. Like Voodoo Dog's done it, so Voodoo Dog now is the first one in there. Crunch is now in there as well. And so, yeah, just, yep, there you go, you're in there. So, yep, jump in, guys, jump in. And I'll just get everything set up for the actual marble run. So I haven't, normally load these in early so I can just make sure that it's going to all work. Where's it gone? Marble run is, oh, there we go, Marble's on stream. Bring that one across. So we're saying good timing tonight. That's good. That's good. That's good. I'll just get this one established and set up. Okay, so Tom is saying, recently heard of the game Shadow Empire. Your channel was heavily recommended and is an invaluable resource. Thanks for that. Yeah, no, it's a great game, that one. Really, really cool game. I'm just going to go into race to set things up. Just get our naming ready. Add names. Okay, so we'll just clear that one out from last week. Okay, guys, has everyone typed in the word win? Are we ready to go? Only 18 entries, so this is it's an unusual day for me to be doing this. Next week will be an unusual day as well, possibly the same time next week as well. So I'll also have a giveaway for Battle Sector for that one as well. So the way this will work is that we I just essentially just copy that one through, It never gets the full amount. I don't know if I can... oh, hang on, copy eligible entries. That's actually good. Let's just try that and see if this one now works. It's a bit convoluted because it's designed for Twitch. What the hell? It's got all 18, but I don't want this shit in there. That's all going to be completely random. I'm going to have to write a script to get rid of this stuff. Sorry, I'll just have to do this manually today. You have to write a regular expression to search for this stuff. Just in my head, I'm thinking what it'll have to be is it'll have to be a space. It's going to then pick up things like this. Unfortunately, it's going to have to be going from the back end of the of each line, looking for brackets and a space before the end, and delete everything in between. So I'll have to test that one and see how that one goes. All right, so we've got the 18 names in there, so good luck, everyone. I'm just going to go and save those. Hang on, I've got the wrong thing. I'll just open up File, Open Recent, and Marble Names. There we are. That's the old one. Space. Control C. So John is also wanting to join in. So we've got 19 now. And Castanar as well. So John the Chef. That's what we'll just have is John the Chef. And we also have Castanar. Okay, good luck, everyone. That will be it. We'll close it off there. So we'll save the list. Get rid of that list. Save changes. No. Okay. So actually, I'm glad I can pick up that stuff. I'll just need to get like just need to make a regular expression to finish that one off. If we just go back into Marble Run. Okay, so we'll go and open up Marble Names. There we are. So that's the full list of 20. Finish. Go back out of this one into Grand Prix. And we do need 20. That's fine. We'll just play with the bots because we've now named all the bots, which is all of you guys. You guys are bots. 3 maps. We'll auto-fill the maps. And what have we got? We've got... these are pretty small maps in terms of time frame. Look, that'll be okay. I'll leave it like that. Okay, so the way it will work is if there is a tie at the back end of it, we'll play like another round, and whichever of those two players ends up higher in the race will then be the winner of the key. That's sort of how it will then work. I think we've only ever had one tie with this. Anyway, let's get going. So we'll just go and play. ZXM saying, wish everyone the best of luck in coming in second. There we are. So this will be cool. So it's completely random. You'll have your own marble. Your name will be on the marble, and we'll see how it goes. So all the names are just basically sitting back up into here. So good luck, everyone. We'll just get started. Some of these maps can be fairly aggressive. There we are. So everyone's now coming through. Seeing anyone that pops out of everything. Everyone's safe at the moment. Doesn't mean they will be forever. So Invictus is straight through. Viren Games as well. Ben Jackson. Oh, Ben Jackson and Viren Games actually took the first of the loops. Voodoo Dog, Michael Druris back in through this other side. Ben and Viren Games are trying to make their way through this little area through here. Invictus has now hit it. John the Chef has now hit the lead. We'll just go and grab the second place, and we'll just follow this one through. We should be able to see on the other side of the map. Everyone sort of coming through here. So John the Chef is out in the lead. So we're sort of now following things through. No one's fallen off the map yet.
Elephant Man is actually now further in the front. This is the final bit. It looks like it's Elephant Man has got the first of the first race potentially. Voodoo Dog up there. So people are coming through. Has anyone made it? It's Elephant Man. It's Voodoo Dog coming in second. Michael Druss coming in third. Geezer Zone. If you come in 10th, you also get 10 points. You get 20 points for coming in first. So 10th is as good as 4th in this one through here. So it looks like Bubo got 10th. So that was another sort of like a bit of a random way of getting some extra points in there. So so Chris saying, I won once, kinda. Yeah. There has been instances where we haven't had any giveaways, but we still do the marble run. So up they come. Actually, no one died in this one. Everyone got through so far, although Castanar is still struggling at the back end there. If you finish, you still get 1 point. I don't know if Castanar's going to make it. I don't think he's going to do it. Nope. Bang, he's gone. So we had one failure out of the whole lot. So final results. So we've got the... Now I'll just go back to the Grand Prix for this. This is what we actually have. Actually, 2 of you didn't make it. Tom, I don't know what happened with Tom. So Castanar and Tom didn't make it through. These are the points currently. We've got 2 more races to go. So we've got 20 points for Elephant Man, 15 for Voodoo Dog, 12 for Michael, 10 for Bubo and Geezer Zone. So Bubo came in 10th. And let's just go across to the next map. Good luck, everyone. And remember, next week there will be another giveaway of the same game. Okay, here we go. So we'll get started. Everyone's going to be sort of making their way down through to the middle. So it looks a bit more aggressive, a little bit more dangerous. Don't know what that is off to the side there. Okay, we've got CB out in front. Just follow this through and just see what happens. Oh, straight through. Everyone's straight through that one. No one's died yet. Quite often there's a lot of pain as things sort of coming through. Ben is way out in front. It does don't look at so much of the leaderboard when you go through these loops. It doesn't seem to sort of make much sense. It's a finish line up the top there. So up they go. Okay, it looks like Ben is out in front now. So we've got Ben, Hugh David, Castanar, Chris, Lewis back into the first 5. Everyone's collapsed into here. Could be anyone's game now. In fact, complete change of leaders now. So Diamond is the first one through. Who's going to make it through this sausage machine? It looks like it's Diamond. Tom coming in second, and then we've got Bubo, ZXM, Castanar, Veering Games, Voodoo Dog, Michael Druss, Chris, Serenity. So we've still got a couple left over. Here comes the yellow that will kill anyone who doesn't make it through. I think everyone will make it here. It was a fairly fast little run, that one. So Diamond has won that one through there, so we'll just go and look at the final results here. Again, we just go to the actual current Grand Prix. So 26 points, 22 points for Bubo. We've got 21 points for Voodoo Dog, 20 for Elephant Man. Elephant Man's only got the one. You're going to win. What happened there? You should have had another point, I think. Not sure why you don't have the other point. So we've got the Michael, and then sort of back down through the list. I think everyone's now got points. Yep, no, that's all good. So that's the. Just go to the next map. Okay, it's the last map. So good luck, good luck, good luck. It's pretty close actually, so it could be almost anyone's game here. It's very similar sort of start. I don't know what those things are. This should be the first one through. It's Castanar and John the Chef. Elephant Man coming in third. That will be a good finish for Elephant Man if that's the case. hitting this this level here. Straight down, Castanar, John the Chef, Voodoo Dog. Well, it's been a very safe race so far. No one's fallen off anywhere. Except for the first one. This looks pretty safe as well, doesn't it? Here they come. So John the Chef out in front, Bubo, then Castanar, CB. So they're just going straight through there. Bubo out in front now. Castanar coming in second. Straight down into here. Just got a few loops to sort of hit. Now they're hitting each other. So it's a big group. Hard to tell who's actually leading this one now. Hugh David and ZXM. I'm sort of hitting this, looks like a drum kit. Crunch out in front now with Chris C. Straight around the corner. This is for the final. I don't think anyone's going to fall off this one now. So Crunch looks to be a fair way out in front. Chris coming in second. So Crunch coming in for the... wow, everyone is bunched right up in here. So Crunch out in front, Chris coming in second. Everyone's just, I think it's going to be the final. Yep, there we go. Bang, everyone's through. Serenity got the extra 10 points. Everyone finished right at the same time, basically. So, final result. What do we end up having? If we just go back and have a look at the Grand Prix, this should be the final one. So we've got 30 points there for Elephant Man. Is the should be the winner, but let's just double check. Tom actually came from behind incredibly well, actually, in that one through there. That's what's that, 27? So we've got 30, 27, 27 in through there again as well with Diamond, 24 Voodoo Dog. We'll have a bit of a look and we'll just finish off the Grand Prix and just double check the that is what the Grand Prix is sort of giving us. Yep, so Tomkin is coming in third. Diamond also coming in, well, equal second basically for both of those. And Elephant Man, you are the winner of the key. So congratulations. That was a very tight race, and that was a big comeback from Tom Kumba at the very end there. So yeah, congratulations, Elephant Man. If you can email me, I'll just type my. So actually, if I just press escape in here, you guys can then sort of see where you came up in the leaderboard. So we had Invictus down with 5 points, had a couple there with 6. Yeah, so 30 was Elephant Man, 27's in through there, 24, 23, 22. That was close. That was a close game. So I'll just type in my email address if you can actually just make sure I get this one right. So if you can email me to daz@daztactic.com, I can then shoot you through the key for Battle Sector. So yeah, well done. That was great. And I'm finishing 10 minutes early, which is also good. That means I can get ready for the beach and go and have a swim. Thanks for watching, guys. And I'll be, as I say, should be probably in exactly a week's time. We'll be back. Because saying for the Emperor, there we are. Yes. But it's a very good game, Battle Sector, as we saw there with the actual scores for it, very high. It's extremely well done game. So Michael's saying a long time since I managed to finish all 3 races, so I'm happy. That was a bit easy though. Let's face it. There was only 2 people died in the whole race, and which is sort of normally there's a lot more. So Diamond saying have a fun swim. I'm jealous. Yeah, no, it's really nice at the moment. It's nice, nice waves, nice weather. It's good. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you later. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. If I see you during the week, that'd be great as well. Yeah, by all means, there's a lot of streaming, as I said before, coming up this week, so I'll be sort of fairly busy, which I'm looking forward to. I'll catch you or see you when I see you. I'll see you then.